Happy, does South Africa have the capacity really to reduce our carbon emissions, to make a difference to the way that we are either consuming or creating electricity?
Yeah.
Is it really viable for us?
I mean, you hit it spot on. Consumption and electricity are the key things. It's what we consume that is primary, and what we generate our electricity from. South Africa's got the capacity, it's got the technical ability, it's got the capability, whether financially, socially, politically. The question is basically what's happening internationally. Do we have enough thrust internationally to also spur on what's happening in South Africa? There are a number of things that the government, or rather South Africa as a whole, has done. I mean, there are a lot of studies, there are a lot of research papers which have been done, and there has been a lot of work that's already been done in terms of cutting our greenhouse gases down. So it's possible. It's just that little push that we need at this point in time.
Nyoko, what does Project 90 by 2030 want to see from government specifically when it comes to reaching your organization's objectives? What needs to be done?
What we need to look at specifically is political will in the national context. So that would be documents like the IEP and the IRP, and looking at our greenhouse gas regulation within South Africa. And Project 90 would like more ambitious policy implementation, because that is the key. We can have ambitious policy, but the implementation of the policy needs to be there. So I think that if Happy wants to add on.
We find that there should be more of a recognition of households. The residential sector is becoming more and more big, and the forms of households that we have are not really conducive, or are not really complementing the policies that we have. So as soon as we start recognizing that the face of the residential sector has changed, we can also start being more ambitious. I mean, there's no reason why households can't produce electricity, especially in a country like South Africa where we've got a lot of sun. So those kind of things should be able to start feeding into our policy planning. And if we do that, we start cutting a lot of our greenhouse gases associated with electricity.
And I think just on that point, we also need to look at the companies and their role in the current electricity landscape, is because they're the big 20 companies that are high emitters and also high consumers, that don't necessarily pay the same tariffs that households do, with a large percentage of them not being like our complete energy sphere. That's a big chunk of it, which are those large companies. So households are a big part of it as well, but we need to look specifically in the South African arena and look at it as a holistic pie, so to speak.